we want to now turn our attention to the actual filling out the registration sheet. You have received fillable forms that you will fill out online, then save it, and then send it back to your counselor. You'll save it last name, first name, and ID number. And so don't forget, the most important thing right now is getting your last name, first name, ID number on there, and a student phone number. That is just in case we need to reach you in the summer because of some master schedule changes that happen or conflicts that happen. And we want to make sure that you have what you need or what you really, really want. So now we are going to look at the rest of that sheet. If you do look at the sheets and how that lays out, you'll see the core courses and then some general elective credits down here. And then up in the right-hand side here, you'll see all the different pathways that are available to you, and they're broken down by pathways, everything from computers to business to education, engineering, etc. There is also then, if you go on to the registration sheet, you'll see regional pathways. These are offered between 8:30 and 10:30 at WIT, and these are full-blown programs where you'll spend every day for those 2 hours, A and B day, up there working and trying to get some certifications and get some credits for those particular pathways. This is really geared towards seniors primarily. There may be a junior that may be able to fit a schedule where they could take this, but again, you'd have to have a lot of time open and really put a lot of blocks with requireds out of the way for you to be able to do this. So let's go ahead and see what we want to really start getting through the required registration classes first. Let's look at English. And again, depending on what grade you are, you'll look at if you're going into 10th grade, if you're going into 11th grade, or if you're going into 12th grade. I am using a junior sheet as a sample, and they would be looking at, for instance, either going into English 3, 1040, or they'd be looking at the AP English Lit and Comp if they want to challenge themselves, get bonus points, get potential college credit, which is based on the AP test, as was discussed by Mrs. Pratt earlier. So what we want to do is find our course number, and you're going to go back to that sheet, and you put the course number here, and you'll just fill in for the English 3 students, it would be 1040, and then put in what the course is. And for English, it's easy, just putting the numbers in 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then you're also especially putting in AP English Language and Comp if you're going into sophomore year and want the AP class, or AP Lit and Comp if you're going into junior year. So go ahead and you'd be filling this in at that point. Then as we look ahead, and we'll go on to the math options, remember, we have to have 3 years of math, including all of algebra. And this is kind of in level of order. So if algebra and you struggle, barely passed algebra, you might be looking at going on to principles of algebra and geometry, 50-25. If you're in principles of algebra and geometry, you'll move on to geometry. If you're in geometry, you'll move on to algebra 2. After that, you have some opportunity to either go towards the pre-calculus and calculus route, or another advanced math is discrete math. New course, or AP statistics. There's a new course option called college algebra, 1 semester, WIT credit, that is transferable to most four-year colleges. So if you've done your 3 years of math already, pretty much, and you're just looking for that college credit now, you can pull up college algebra. Or if you go into WIT for a VOTEC program, you might pull the 1 semester applied math instead and take that. Also college credits for WIT if you go into WIT. Please note that calculus, if you're going on to calculus, it's now Calc 1 is first semester, Calc 2 is second semester, and that's how you would put it in there. So what we would do is pick your math credit that you'd be looking for. For the juniors, just say, I'm a student is looking for Algebra 2. They put in the course number 5040 and Algebra 2. Then we go on to our science options. And as you see, again, they have 2 different pathways that they're going to be looking at, either biochemistry and physics before they graduate, or biology, some elective in science, and physical science. But you need 3 years in order to fulfill your requirements there. These are kind of in order of probably more difficult going as you proceed. A lot of good elective classes: Earth and Space Science, Bio 2 Lab, which is dissecting, Field Bio, if you're going to be more into maybe wanting to be a park ranger, DNR, environmental studies in college, ecology. Then we have the AP courses. But remember, if you needed biology, chemistry, you're going to go on to physics. If you've had physics, you could go on to college physics 1 and 2. These are, again, first semester, second semester. Same thing with chemistry. If you want to go on and take more chemistry, we now offer college chemistry, first semester, second semester, and it's 10 college credits. Also, if you've had bio and chemistry already, you could also take anatomy and physiology if you've had B or higher in those classes. Again, first semester and second semester. But remember, the requirements have got to be fulfilled first, or you can certainly double up in certain cases. Please work with your counselor about if you have specific questions. But do keep that in mind. The four-year colleges, reminder of the four-year colleges, not only for the math, which requires algebra, geometry, and algebra 2, but for science, classes or schools like Iowa State, UNI require 2 of biology, chemistry, and physics. So you must have 2 of those 3 in order to get into any of the state universities of Iowa, Iowa State, UNI. So let's move on. If I was to put my science in at that point, this person is putting in physics. They've had bio and chemistry. They're going to put 70-40 and put physics. Social studies requirement is they have, again, depending on your year, if going into 10th grade, world history or potentially AP European history. 11th grade American history or AP American history. Again, these are all full year courses, bonus points for the AP courses, and potential college credit based on the exam at the end. If you're going into senior year, remember you need to have had, if you haven't already, at least 1 semester of government and 1 semester of next gen personal finance. You could also take, if you really like social studies, take the AP US Government and Politics full year course. But again, don't forget you still have to have next gen. There are certainly a lot of elective courses as you look through your registration sheet in psychology, sociology, and there's some AP courses that you can still take if you choose, even if you've taken the earlier American history or world history, you can still take AP American and European. Anyway, at this point, you want to make sure that you do get your 4th, if you need a social studies. This person has decided to take the AP American history, and that's 8423, and they've typed in AP American history. Next, we're going to make sure that we have our fine art classes. Remember, you need 2 to graduate. The most easy and simplistic ones would be taking your introductory fine art classes, Art 1 2D and Art 1 3D, or some others like Design Studio, which is fashion design, interior decorating, drama, play production, if you like theater and acting, working on the set of a play, and then more of the graphic design kinds of programs, humanities, grade course, exploring humanity through the arts and theater, in poetry and literature, etc. Some advanced AP courses also available. If you've had Art 1 2D and Art 1 3D, you've fulfilled your 2 different fine arts. Do not forget also that you're going to eventually get your band and choir in if you are also a band student or a choir student. But as you look at this, you can see that this person has fulfilled or needed their 2 fine arts, or maybe just wanted 2 fine arts and put in 1 semester, the 2000, the Art 1 2D, and then opposite that, another semester course. That's how we can kind of balance our schedule a little bit. We can see how many blocks and how many classes we still need to have by putting them opposite each other if it's just a 1 semester course. We've also put in PE. If you note, you must have at least 1 semester of PE unless you fill up your schedule, or if you're a senior, you can get a sports waiver, but that won't happen until next fall. So you either need to choose the total well-being, and those numbers are 6006 and 6007 for semester 2, and you would just put those numbers here and put TWB there. But if you're just looking for the basic PE class, you have to have at least 1 semester of it, or you're hoping to fill up your schedule, you just put the 6011 and put in the PE. And if you're hoping to make that an alternate, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here filled up, and you would have to fill up another 4 here in order to get 8 full blocks for a full schedule. and then PE becomes your alternate. So we'll show you that again later on. But let's talk more again about some more important classes like your foreign language. If you're going to a four-year college, remember, you need at least 2 years of the foreign language. If you've had at least Spanish 3, you can then either go on to Spanish 4 or choose to do the AP Spanish classes, AP Spanish Language and Culture or AP Spanish Literature and Culture. And remember, for the four-year colleges, you need at least 2 years of a foreign language just for admission purposes. So we will now look at that. And as you can see, this person, I'm a student, has put in Spanish 3, 3051. And it's a full year course, so they put it both semesters, and they have that block. They did not want to forget about their choir class, because that is something that they take every year, or for some of you, it might be band, and you want to make sure you get those in as well. So if I was to look at this point, this person has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes plus their PE, and then there are others, they can still put in another elective, or they could leave that alone and hope for a study hall at some point for that semester that they have the open block. Another way this can look is if you want PE as an alternate, you can fill up your 4 classes. This person has added AP Psychology because they really enjoyed it or want to take psychology. They're going to work in the juvenile court system, or they want to be a psychologist or a counselor, and they really want to take AP Psych and learn about individual behavior. They're taking the 8418 AP. Again, all AP courses are a full year. So they put it, again, the number and over here with the title of the class. And then as you look up here, you see that they put alternate because we now have 8 courses, 8.5 with PE. So that would make it very clear that this person wants PE as their alternate. Or they could add another class that they might want as an alternate if they have other ideas, but they have so many classes they just can't choose. So maybe they really wanted ProStart. They could put that in here as an alternate with the course number. And if these classes don't fit when a schedule is made, then those courses can kick in. So that is basically how you're going to go through your registration sheet. There's lots of pathways and lots of courses to choose from. There are some prerequisites you have to be aware of. And you'll also have to be aware of maybe if you need to retake a class. But some of those things will be worked out individually. You'll want to maybe connect with your counselor, but we'll also be able to answer some questions after this before we get off this call with you, this Teams call with you. But this will be an opportunity. Once you fill out your schedule, you will save it to your last name, first name, and ID number, and then submit it to your counselor. And at this point, I'm going to shut this down and we'll be open to questions and answers.